Let's talk about IaaS. Remember that nowadays many companies are using the public clouds in order to run their resources, their virtual machines, their storage, and many other resources. And they will most of the time use private networks. This means that these resources are only available through gateways that the public cloud providers make available to you, so you will have to create tunnels to those gateways in order to gain access to those private networks. The best way to create these tunnels is to private carriers, because this will offer faster access into your public cloud providers. You can also use the internet in order to reach them, but the private carriers will provide you a faster solution. And remember that these virtual machines and services that exist in these private networks are not publicly available over the internet. So if you want to use the internet, plain internet, in order to reach them, you will not be able to do so, because you will need to access them through a gateway. So with this is a good solution, but it has the drawback that when a branch office wants to reach those resources, this traffic will have to go all the way through the SD-WAN to your data center, and then through the tunnels, through the gateways, in order to finally reach those private networks. You will have to go to the data center, because your data center is where this router is connected to this private carrier that is being used in order to create these tunnels to these gateways. This has the net effect of increasing the latency, because you will have to add the latency that goes from your branch office plus the latency that goes from your data center to these cloud providers. So we'll need a solution in order to make these branch offices users be able to reach these services with a lower latency. You might think of, why don't we just enable the direct internet access here and try to communicate with these public cloud providers? Remember that these are private networks and you cannot do that. You can use direct internet access in order to communicate with gateways, but you will need to create tunnels using direct internet access here, setting up tunnels to these gateways, but that is a little bit cumbersome, and it does not scale well, because if you had 100 branches, you will have to enable direct internet access at every branch, and you will have to create the same number of tunnels that involves a lot of management. So we still need a solution for this. So one solution is using Cloud on RAM for IaaS. This involves the installation of these WAN edges as virtual machines that will run on your public cloud providers. So this virtual WAN edge will have an interface that will create a tunnel to a gateway in order to gain access to this private network, and it will have another public interface that will connect to your SD-WAN. So in that case, this public cloud provider is becoming a site within your SD-WAN solution. So when this branch office wants to gain access to this private network, it will create a tunnel, an IPsec tunnel to this other site, just as it will do it with any other site in SD-WAN, and it will be able to transparently gain access to these services. So this you can think of it as making the cloud part of your fabric. So the cloud providers become just sites as any other site within your SD-WAN solution. And you can also use Cloud on RAM for colocation if you have many branches within the same geographical area, and you can locate a third-party data center that is willing to rent you some space in order to install your equipment, and that data center lives in the same geographical area as your branches. You can create them some tunnels to your cloud providers through a private carrier in order to have a good latency, and then the traffic coming from your branch office will only travel to this other site that is a near data center in order to gain access to these private networks through that data center tunnels. So you have those two options. You can use Cloud on RAM for IaaS and make your cloud providers become part of your fabric, or you can use Cloud on RAM for colocation if you can locate third party that is willing to rent you some space. The option is up to you, depending on whether you can locate this third party data center, if you have several branches in the same geographical area. That's it.